Hey guys, it's Courtney. What's up? Today I'm sharing with you my experience with Home Chef. I'm going to be cooking these recipes and showing you how I made them, show them how easy it is, and then my thoughts and feedback on all three recipes. If you aren't familiar with Home Chef, it's one of those home delivery services that ship you groceries to your door, and then it gives you the recipes, and everything is like pre-packaged for that recipe, and then you get a recipe card, and then you make the meal. So it makes cooking at home really easy. You don't have to go to the grocery store, and it's affordable as well. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all my new videos. I would really appreciate it, and give this a like if you enjoy it and you want to see more videos like this. It really helps, one, the video get noticed, and two, it lets me know your feedback about how much you like what video I'm posting and what type of video you like to see. So that would really be helpful. Now let's get into this. I did a little research since this was like the first delivery service I've tried, and it seems to have the most meal options out of all the plans out there. You could choose from 13 different meals a week, and you could see the nutrition facts before you place your order, which I think is awesome, because I was trying to go for some of the more healthier recipes that were lower in calories than some of like the super yummy looking, delicious, fatty goodness ones. Price-wise, it's about $10 a plate, which seems to be pretty regular, and the good thing is with a lot of these services, you could use a coupon code for your first week. So I have a coupon code for you guys. It's COURT30. So for 3 meals for 2 people, what would normally be $60 is actually $30. So you get it half off, and you really can't beat it, especially for the half off price, because you can't even go to the grocery store and buy all the ingredients and then find all these recipes for that price, I feel like. And one last thing before we get into the recipes, I found the recipes to be easy to follow. There was a few certain like words when it comes to recipes and stuff that if you aren't familiar with cooking and cooking terms, you might need to look up. So there could be a little bit of clarification, but more or less I found the recipes really easy to follow. And something that I really loved is the cleanup after everything was very simple. Pretty much for every recipe you only needed like a cutting board, a knife, and one pan got the job done for everything you needed to cook. So that was like an added bonus. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the recipes, and I'm going to share with you our thoughts on each of the recipes. This first recipe is a pork chop with honey mustard cream sauce, and then you also have potatoes and asparagus and a tomato salad with it. So with all these recipes, you're going to start by just prepping the ingredients and chopping them whichever way it instructs you to. Here I'm just chopping up some tomatoes, asparagus, squeezing a lemon, and chopping up some green onion. So after that, I'm cutting the potatoes in half, continuing with the prep, and then seasoning the pork chops, which the only thing you really need for these recipes is olive oil, salt, and pepper. So that's the only thing you need of your own. And then I'm starting off with this glaze for the potatoes, which is really good and yummy. So you kind of heat it all up, mix the potatoes in it, and then you're gonna go ahead and put them on a pan and stick them in the oven to start cooking. In the meantime, I'm starting to cook the pork chops, so I'm using a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm laying them down and letting them cook on each side for the time that it's stated in the recipe, just to make sure they're fully cooked all the way through. In the meantime, I'm doing the tomato salad, which, oh my gosh, guys, I totally recommend. It's the tomatoes, green onions, some lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and it was delicious. So good. So then I pulled the potatoes out of the oven, added some asparagus, and stuck them back in the oven. And then I started with the cream sauce. So you start with some heavy cream and some other sauce that came in little packets that you mix in with it until it starts to thicken, and then you add in the honey mustard and butter, and then just stir it all together, and then it creates a cool sauce. I don't know, I'm like not experienced with making sauces, so I was like, yes, I finally know how. And then my favorite part of all these recipes is plating it and trying to make it look like the recipe card did, because it looks super professional. So I found like my dinners look on point for these meals, and yeah, that is the final recipe right there. Overall, as a whole, this recipe was my favorite. I liked every single thing on the plate, which is kind of rare for me because I'm kind of a picky eater. I love asparagus, and the tomato little salad with it was so good. I would have never thought to make something like that. Andy also really liked this one, but this was actually his second favorite. We're about to get into his first favorite right now. This recipe is steak with tostones and then some vegetables. So this is everything it came with. And I do want to point out that I didn't cook this right away. We went out of town, and so it was pushing the edge of how long everything stayed good for. But this plantain, or whatever you want to call it, arrived with a darker skin, which I guess was a thing, and it wasn't bad or anything like that. It was just kind of weird for me. So again, I'm chopping up all the veggies and just prepping everything like the recipe card instructed, some onions, and then I'm starting on the plantains or tostones, whatever you want to call it. So you kind of fry them on each side for about 4 minutes, and then you press them out with a pan. Now when I went to refry them for the second time, this is where mine started to get burnt almost, and yeah, they didn't taste burnt, but they were definitely looking kind of toasty. So I'm starting the steak in the pan and just getting a sear on it, same pan and everything, and then I'm sticking it in the oven with some vegetables that were already cooking. And then I'm starting on the sauce, and this sauce was so good. It was with some onions and garlic and then a red wine vinegar, and you wait until most of the red wine vinegar kind of like dissolved, and then you go ahead and add in the other stuff that it came with, and it was delicious. And then again, we are plating our meal, and this sauce was so yummy. I couldn't recommend it enough. Like I said, this was Andy's favorite meal. For me, I absolutely loved the steak. I have never cooked such a good steak that wasn't on a grill, which is so hard for me to like cook it perfectly. The downside for me was I don't really care for tostones, which is like a fried plantain type of thing. Andy loves them, so he liked that. For this last recipe, we're making a lemon orzo risotto with asparagus and spinach, and so again, I'm chopping up everything, preparing it like so. This is like a pesto sauce that you have to add olive oil to and shake up, and then these are croutons that I'm crushing. So I let the orzo cook. I don't know if this is like a rice or a noodle, but it's called orzo, and then it wants you to save some of the water that you used from that. So I just put a little measuring cup under my strainer to do that, and then I start on the asparagus and pour in that water mixed with a chicken broth that it came with, and then I pour in the rice, again making a mess of course, and then start to add in Parmesan cheese, add in some butter, you mix it all together, and then I added in some breadcrumbs, and I also added in, and of course the lemon, and then I added in the spinach and the red, these are like weird peppers. They're called sweetie drop peppers, so I would have left this out when I make this again in the future, but then you just mix it all up until the spinach starts to wilt, and then I'm plating the risotto with the pesto sauce and some more of the breadcrumb croutons. I was so excited to see this recipe on there because I've watched Hell's Kitchen for like years, and they always make risotto, but I've never tried risotto, so I was like super excited because I didn't really know how to make it. I never really like looked up how to make it, but I was really excited to try this out. But even Andy liked this, and he's not a huge vegetable person. Overall, I was super impressed. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have tried a service like this. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know if you would like to see more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. If you missed my last videos, they're on both sides of me, so all you have to do is click on them, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!